So with the Capital One Cup final set up, domestic knockout action continues with the FA Cup fourth round this weekend, and there's certainly a few key matches to keep your eye on. And Novak Djokovic has set up an Australian Open showdown with either Andy Murray or Roger Federer. Welcome to this week's Sports Spread. Coral's Nicola McGeady has joined us in the studio for a dig into where there's money to be made. Nicola, thanks very much indeed for joining us today. Let's start with the football then, and Stoke against Man City. We've started with our top game. Man City got to be too strong, haven't they?
Yeah, you would think so. Man City currently in the betting are the favourites, but they're not the huge favourites. They're there at 4-5 and Stoke are 7-2, and we have seen a little bit of money coming in for Stoke because, let's be honest, it's not easy at the Britannia Stadium. It's one of the toughest places to go.
That's the key, isn't it? It's at Stoke.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why some punters actually think Stoke can go and win this. I mean, it is one of the toughest places to travel nowadays, and they've only lost once there at home in the league all season, so it's definitely going to be tough. But Man City's form, they've pulled up their socks. It was a bit inconsistent there in December, but, they've won 5 on the bounce, including 3-0 against Stoke. So that says a lot as well. It's going to be a tough one, but I actually think we're going to be looking at a replay here. 1-1 at 11-2 possibly stands out as an interesting bet for me. It was 1-1 the last 2 times that Man City actually played away to Stoke. So an interesting little stat.
Okay, and a tough one to make money on, actually, for the bettors.
It is. It's always one of the tougher markets to make money on.
Well, let's see if we can move on then to Man United. Obviously the most successful. They've got a little bit of pedigree here against Fulham. Our producer came up with a lovely fact. In 1975, it took Fulham 7 matches to get past Hull and Nottingham Forest on the way to the final because they only had replays but no penalties. So they must have been knackered by then. Who's going to win? Man United, got to be strong favourites.
Of course, I'm definitely not going to back against Manchester United. They're 130 on to win this. Fulham, a big price at 9-1, and nobody wants a piece of Fulham. They're just in formidable form at the moment, Manchester United. I mean, they're 12 games in all competitions unbeaten, and at home domestically, they've won their last 9 games, so the stats are all in Manchester United's favour. And Fulham, I mean, their form is contrasting that altogether. They've had a pretty poor season so far. They've only won 2 of their last games, so it's not looking good for Fulham. Although they played earlier on in the season and it was 3-2, so maybe it'll go a little bit tighter than expected. But I wouldn't be backing against Manchester United, that's for sure.
Okay, so we don't make money there. 2 more matches we've picked out. Leeds against Tottenham. I mean, this has got the possibility of a banana skin here. Is that about as far as it goes?
Yeah, well, punters, in fairness, are supporting Spurs to win this. They're 4-6. Leeds are, I actually think, a decent price at 4-1. I'd be happy to actually back Leeds because they've proven they can beat the big teams at home. I mean, in the League Cup, they've beaten Everton, Southampton before. Obviously, Chelsea knocked them out. And then, of course, if you remember 3 years ago, they beat Manchester United at Old Trafford. So they've proven that they can beat the big teams, but Spurs, they'll be obviously lifted by that late draw that they got against Manchester United at the weekend, and they've been in very good form at the moment, so I fancy Spurs to win this one. Adebayor is away at the Africa Cup of Nations, but they've got Gareth Bale, they've got Defoe, so they have plenty of star quality in their ranks.
Okay, and one final football match before we talk about some of the interesting bets. Millwall Villa. I mean, this is more to do with Mr. Lambert, isn't it?
It is all about Lambert. Is he going to stay or is he going to go? His job is definitely in question at the moment, and he's odds on to be sacked come Saturday, so things aren't looking good for Lambert. He's going to really have to motivate his team against Millwall, who will actually probably be full of confidence going into this game.
So they'll be optimistic going in. Villa have got to do the business.
I mean, they were knocked out by Bradford midweek, so Millwall go in saying, yeah, we can win this. I know their home form hasn't been the best, Millwall, but I think they have a very good chance. They're 7-5, Villa 9-5, and the draw 12-5.
Okay, now you've picked out some interesting bets that we can have a look at for each of these games. Now, Peter Crouch in the Stoke Man City game to score from outside the box, and this is relevant because of clearly the only one we remember is that fantastic goal, and guess who it was against?
Yeah, it was against City. It was a spectacular volley last year. 20-1 if anybody fancies it to happen again. Bit of a long shot. I wouldn't be putting all my wages on that one.
Okay, so Peter Crouch to score from outside the box, one to look at. And then the Man United, you've got various bits with Rooney and RVP, who's going to score the most, and a penalty in there as well.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Wayne Rooney has missed 2 penalties now so far this season, and 10 in his career at Manchester United. So it's not completely impossible. He's 16-1 to do that. And then we have a match bet between Robin van Persie, who has proved the signing of the season, and it's looking like he'll get the golden boot. He's 13-8 9-8 to outscore Rooney, who's in there at 11-4 with Carl at the moment.
And you've also got the Manchester double. I mean, it's difficult to make money on this one, surely.
11-8, you know, it has attracted a bit of attention. People will always jump on the favourites and put them in a double or a treble. So, you know, it hasn't gone friendless in the betting.
Okay, and a final one on the football, a London double. Now, this one's for the real Bravehearts.
Yeah, the London double. If anybody does fancy Fulham to actually, you know, go on and beat Manchester United, you can get that price. It's available at the moment. It's a big price at about 16-1. Yeah, for
okay,
Spurs
so
and
especially brave.
Spurs and Fulham 16-1, but I'd be staying well away from that one.
Okay, let's finish with some tennis. Djokovic, we know, in the final of the Australian Open.
Yeah.
Murray or Federer? First of all, who do we think will get through that?
I think it's going to be Murray. I mean, Federer, he wasn't involved in the warm-up session before the Grand Slam actually begun, so that kind of says a lot as well. But he has, you know, people are underrating Federer because, you know, they're saying he's getting on now. Murray has proven he's very fit, but I really do think it is going to be a Murray-Djokovic final once again, and Murray will really want to win this one. You know, he's faced Djokovic in gruelling tests like this before, but he is the favourite to overcome Roger Federer at 8-13. Okay. If anyone fancies an upset, 5-4.
And can anybody beat Djokovic in the final?
I don't think so, unfortunately. I know everybody wants Murray to win it, but Djokovic is just a machine. There's no stopping him. He's definitely the fittest. He's about 4-5 at the moment.
Okay, a final word on the ladies,
yes.
Azarenka and Li Na.
Yes.
How does that one look at the moment in terms of making money on it?
Yeah, it's Azarenka's 8-13, but the women's has been very unpredictable. Sloane Stephens, the big name to emerge from the tournament, beating Serena Williams. So there's been a few upsets, and of course Maria Sharapova was put out. Yeah. She was the favourite before that match against Li Na. So it's going to be a hard one to tell, but Azarenka, hopefully her fitness will be okay. She did have a few breathing problems, but I would stick with her to win that one in straight sets. Okay, thank you very much indeed for that. That is it for this week. My thanks to Nicola McGeady from Coral. Joining us next week as we return our attention to the Barclays Premier League. I'm Nigel Stevenson. This is Reuters.